I'm mindful when I was listening to speakers earlier today, in particular the Minister for Finance and the Taoiseach, use words like the decision was wrong of the European Commission and of the Commissioner and damaging to our country. And the speeches earlier were very stark and very clear in the messages that were being put out there. And there's a very good reason why government are taking a strong line on this, because this is an attack in some ways on our country. It's definitely an attack on our revenue commissioners, who are independent and are a vital organ of the state. And it's an attack on our reputation as a country in which to do business, and a country that it carries out its affairs in a legal and fair and transparent manner. And I'm actually shocked that some of the opposition spokespeople in the House here today, and some of the comments they've made in the media in recent times. Some politicians in this House that would be opposed to everything to do with the EU all of a sudden want us to roll over and lie down and accept a ruling that says we've broke the law, which we haven't, and that we should just collect this money and allow our reputation to be flushed down the toilet in terms of doing future business. And the members of this House opposed to this would like us to sell out our reputation for 30 pieces of silver. To let us just put that 13 billion in context for a minute, which is only 2 years of direct corporation tax that will be collected from foreign multinationals that are based in this country that employ people. That's not to mention the PAYE contributions of the hundreds of thousands of Irish citizens who work in these, and many of whom in my constituency in Kildare who are employed by foreign direct investment, and very important jobs, and those people then have that money to go and spend in the local community and the indirect jobs that come from there. For those 30 pieces of silver, we would send a message to foreign investors and employees that if Europe tries to bully us on our corporate tax rate and attempts to change the rules retrospectively, that we'll just roll over and allow them to do so. For parties that call themselves nationalists, I think that's a shocking approach, and one that I wouldn't back. The 13 billion isn't even for us, as the Commissioner outlined. That the Commissioner said that we should collect it and that other countries then can entitle to it from us. That, to me, proves that the Commission accepts this wasn't our tax to collect. Apple's intellectual property, as we know and has been said previously, is based in the United States of America. Tax that would be due to other much larger European countries that might be due to that would be, again, the 13 billion going out of Ireland and not even being ours. So you want us to sell out our reputation for money that we wouldn't even end up with in the end. Let me be clear here. It is wrong that any company can have a situation where they only pay €50 tax on €1 million profits. I wouldn't for a minute condone that. But we have to be clear about where the problems with this lie. The problems with this do not lie in the Irish taxes. It has much to do with the USA and how their tax system and how they allow companies incorporated have their money offshore. So Ireland is working with the OECD. We're working with other countries to address deficiencies that are there. But to suggest that we played hard and fast with the rules is factually incorrect, and we cannot allow our reputation be taken like that. So, if you talk about inward investment to this country, employment in IDA client companies as 187,000 people directly employed, and 1 in 5 jobs, as the IDA estimates, in the economy are directly or indirectly supported by inward investment. The Taoiseach outlined earlier the history of our state, where we, for the first couple of decades as a new country, we tried and hard and failed ultimately in trying to make ourselves an industrial country, and we were very based on agriculture. And it was people of vision like T.K. Whitaker and others who saw that the future here was about us opening ourselves up to foreign investment and playing to our key strengths as a small island nation on the edge of Europe. And we continue to do that, and we should make no apology to that. Apple is a company that employs 6,000 people here in Ireland. They see the value of the Irish people, of the skill base we have here, of the proven track record in delivering a good return on investment, a proven young, talented and hard-working workforce, and a positive business environment through hundreds of measures put in place through the Action Plan for Jobs since 2012 that has made a very real difference, never to mind the access to European markets. And we can't allow any damage to our reputation that has happened. And Seamus Healy earlier mentioned Martin Shanahan. He was very selective of what he said, because Martin Shanahan of the IDA, from what I heard, said this ultimately is very damaging for our reputation, and that's not a good place to be. I'd just like to finish off by saying that Europe has had very positive influences on this country, and I would consider myself a pro-European. But if the European Commission wants to make a habit of trying to enforce retrospective actions and attack us based on present-day rules about something that happened 13 years ago in a very distorted manner, then they can expect to fight back from Ireland on that. And this is an opportunity for us as a Parliament to send a very clear message that Ireland does not offer sweetheart deals. Ireland fights its corner for foreign direct investment in a fair and transparent manner, and we will continue to do so in the future, working with the OECD and other countries. Thanks, Caroline.
Deputy Louise Riley.